What's going on, Twisted Vapors? How y'all hanging today? I hope y'all are having a fine, safe day. Have safe travels today. Got a little review today, real quick one in that. I'm going to talk a little bit about the mouse from Cloud Chasers Incorporated. MAUS, mouse sub-ohm tank. Little 22 millimeter sub-ohm tank. Yeah, not a whole lot I can tell you about it at the moment. Why don't we dive down, take a trip around it, do a quick inspection on it, come back up, and I'll tell you what I think about it. Give you my opinions and my thoughts. What do you say we dive down and do a little trip on the mouse from Cloud Chasers Incorporated? Alright, here's the star of the show. The mouse from Cloud Chasers Incorporated. Comes in a nice little tin can. Yeah. Typical Cloud Chasers. No markings on it other than their logo on the top. Yeah, it's a little scratched up. Sorry about that. Been using this, so open her up, see what we get. There you go. That's what you get. You get the mouse tank. I did clean it out. The clothes a little bit dirty. Been having a little bit of an issue. We'll get to that in a little bit and I'll show you. We'll go over the rest of this here in a minute. You do get Pyrex glass. So there is a replacement glass. It's kind of thick, you know, but you do get a replacement glass. Put that back in here. This is the second top it comes with. This will fit your standard 510 drip tips. And that, so this will just screw on. You just unscrew the top of this right here. Screw this one on in its place. And you can put your own 510 drip tip on there. Little O-ring down here on the bottom. And that. You see these two little notches right here? Got one on this side and one on this side. We'll get to that in a little bit. I'll show you what those are actually for. But they do include one, so that's pretty cool. Then you get your bag of goodies. And you got some O-rings in there, pink insulator, another 510 connector right there. I do believe these are copper. And that's all you get. That's it. There's, if I can get this out, nothing in the bottom. That's it. That's all it came with. I did pick this up from a vape shop a few months ago. I don't remember which one I bought it from. But I've always been a fan of Cloud Chasers Incorporated there, so I picked this up. Thought it'd be good. But that's all it comes with. That's all I got in it. So, on to the tank itself. Okay. So here's the tank. From the bottom to the bottom of the chuff here. 66 millimeters tall. It is a 22 millimeter deck or base, so it is a little bit of a smaller, but still not too awful bad of a size. I've got the chuff cap on it right now. I know it's dirty, sorry about that. Like I said, I've been using it. You can see right down there, it's pretty decent. On the top here, you'll see they got it engraved, Cloud Chasers Incorporated. The engraving there, you can actually feel it with your nail and with your finger. It actually is a pretty deep engraving in there. And then here it says mouse sub-ohm tank. All pretty deeply engraved. Take this off, it just turns. That's it. Stick it back on there and turn. It's only a quarter turn. And that's it. That's it. That's what these little, you see here, that's what these little outlets are for. You can see inside of here, they just slide right in here and here. See if I can get a good angle for you. Probably not really. And they just slide right underneath, and that's what actually holds it in place. But it's only a quarter turn, so there's not much there. But you do have a little O-ring down here. I have to help keep it from leaking. I really haven't had many issues from it, but I have noticed driving down the road, if I've got it sitting on one of my mods and I'm just driving down the road, I'll go to grab it. Sometimes I grab it by here out of the cup holder, forgetting what I've got on there, and this will have moved. So I'll grab it and I'll take the top off, and then this is just left sitting there and it's just bouncing around. And guess what happens? Yep, there goes the juice. So kind of keep that in mind, and that kind of sucks from time to time, but that's all that is. This whole thing does come apart. We'll go through that in a moment. You got your airflow down here, and that. You got airflow on one side and airflow on the other side. Not the biggest of airflows I've seen, but it does have it. There is a stopper. Close it off, open it up. There is a stop point in there on both sides. Okay. Now this little, I don't know if this is Delrin down here, what they got, some kind of an insulator here. Not cut the greatest. I haven't cut my fingers on it, but you can see sort of not really cleaned out the best. There are a couple of little burrs on it. The 510 does protrude. 510 protrudes quite a bit, actually. I still wouldn't use it on a hybrid, although I know people do. Does not push in. Well, actually, matter of fact, I am getting it to go in. Not much. I don't know if you can see it very well. I don't know how well you can actually see, but it's just a minimal. There is a little bit of push in from it. Not much, but there is a little bit. I have had this come out. Came out, actually just kind of fell out, so I don't know if the insulator that was in there wasn't fitting right or what it was. So I took the other peak insulator that they included and put that in there, and then put this back in. I haven't had any issues with that part. Now to take the tank apart, you got to grab real tight and get it to turn. And it's not going to do what it normally does this time. It actually came out right. I've been having an issue with these coils. And that coil goes right here in the base. Screws in there. There's your base. You know, not much in there. Here's the coil. Wide open airflow. There's your connection point that makes the actual connection. I've been having an issue with this. When I take it apart to change the coil or clean it, take the base off and the coil stays. Coil doesn't come out with the base. It stays in the tank. And then when you go to grab the coil to take the coil out, you got to turn it. Only problem is that comes right off. And everything's exposed. So then you got to real carefully find your leads, put that side in first and then push it in, and then try to grab up here by these bottom threads, which when it's in the tank is not the easiest to do. So what I have found is when you're stuck in a situation like this, very carefully push the coil to one side of the tank and then to the other, and then the tank will come off. This tank sticks on here really well. Does not like to come off. It does have two O-rings here. Doing this in the camera backwards. It does have two O-rings. Come on, focus. That hold really, really well. So, but you can take the glass off, and then you can get a grip on the coil and take the coil off. The machining on it, not too bad. As you can hear, it's not squeaking or anything. It does come off pretty easy. So it's not too awful bad machine-wise. Putting the glass back on. Watch your O-rings, because these are tight-fitting O-rings. If you do it wrong, see how that O-ring's kind of popping out there? Best just take it on there and kind of turn it just a little bit, and then she'll slide right on. And like I said, the glass sheet does hold really well. Does not come off very easily at all. So, but yeah, that's an issue I've had with this. And as you can see, even the little spit back screen they've got in here is coming out. But like I said, I've been using this pretty well. This here is a 0.2 ohm coil, recommended 60 to 120 watts. This was one of the coils included in the kit. The other coil it came with was a 0.5 ohm coil, which they recommend 30 to 80 watts. Both of them worked pretty well. They worked out pretty well. They were not too bad at all. But there you go. What you got to watch on these coils now. See this O-ring right here? You've got to check your coils. I've been to 3 different vapor shops and I've ordered coils online, and I'll show you. Come here. That's how I found the coils. They're just in bags. But I get them, I've had them show up like this. Okay, there's the coil. Okay, this here is the 0.5 ohm coil, 40 to 100 watts it says. Even though they recommend 30 to 80, the coil says 40 to 100. I don't know why. But do you notice anything missing down here? Yeah. There it is. It's not on there. So if you're lucky enough and it does come in the bag, they go on real nice and easy. But I've had some show up, as you can see, it's on there. And like this one here I just pulled out, it was not on there. That little O-ring right there comes off extremely easily. So you've got to watch. But there's a clean coil, one of the brand new coils that I just picked up. This one here, 0.5 ohm, it's Canthal. Right on here it says 40 to 100 watts. But yet they recommend 30 to 80 watts. So what the difference there is, I don't really know. And you still got that nice wide open air in the bottom. Kind of hard to get it in to the deck or into the base here. They don't like to screw in very well at all. At all. I have had every coil I have had issues getting it started. And then once you get it in there, look at this. Should I be able to turn it that many extra times? Now we got her tight. Got to make sure she gets there nice and tight. Otherwise she will leak like a sieve. But you get that in there nice and tight. Then you take your tank and you got 2 O-rings. You can see you got 2 O-rings down on the bottom. Okay, so you just take and just screw it all back together. The coil holds the chimney onto everything, and then the O-rings will hold the glass into place. And then there you go. That's it. That's all there is to it. Just a basic fill it and go tank. Nothing really major to it. Easy to fill, easy to use. Like I said, those are the issues I've had with the coils. And basically that's it. So on that note, we'll go back up, climb back into the rig, and I'll fill her up, let her sit a little bit, we'll vape on it. I'll give you my opinions. See you guys back in the rig. Alright, so there we go. That's a quick little trip around the mouse from Cloud Chasers Incorporated. Like I said, 22 millimeter by 66 millimeter. So, tall tank with small diameter. Big chuff cat. Forgot to show you down below when you fill this, when you take the top off, it does have 2 kidney style shaped holes. So it is fairly easy to fill. Any dripper will fit in there. Needlepoint bottle, standard plastic bottle, whatever you're using, it'll fit in there, fill it up pretty good. I've got it sitting on my IPv5. I've got the, I forgot what I put in there, 0.5 ohm Canthal I put in here, vaping it at, see if it'll show here, 66.6 watts, just because it's metal. Not a bad little tank. like I said, some of the issues I've had is with that coil sticking in the chimney, and you got to take the glass off and carefully get the coil out. So you got to watch with that. Double check the coils, make sure that almost clear, opaque kind of color O-ring is on the coil. You do got to prime the coil, soak up the little juice holes in there real well, put it in the tank, put it together, fill it up, let it sit for like 10-20 minutes, let it soak up real good, saturate them coils real well. There is a break-in period I've had on the coils. It takes half a tank, 3/4 of a tank before I start getting the flavor of the juice. Okay, so it does take a little bit to start getting that flavor. Cloud production, pretty good. The airflow is a lot of airflow. Not enough to breathe through it, but if you listen, it whistles. So she does have a whistle to her. There's a lot of, it's, yeah, a little bit annoying. But, you know, you close it down. I've got it down about half, maybe a little less than half. Not as bad. Like I said, when you have it wide open, she does have a whistle. The 5-tank connection, like I said, I did have a couple issues where it came out. All I did was switch the insulator. They do include one in the pack, so I did switch it out, and I haven't had any issues since then. The 510 does stick out real far, but I still would not use it on a hybrid mod. I still wouldn't. Why you would put a tank on a hybrid, I don't know. I won't do it. I don't recommend doing it. I don't tell anybody to do it. Why anybody would? Well, people are people. Does provide a nice, cool vape at 66 watts. I'm going to go ahead and try and crank her up some. Let's see, we'll go... We'll try 77.7. 77.7. Just because that's supposed to calm the devil, supposedly. And somebody told me that 66.6 on it, and yeah, whatever. You know, it's a metal thing. 77.7 watts. Still a cool vape. A lot of vapor. Still cool, but a lot of vapor. These coils do take a lot of power to get them to really go. I've had it up to 100 watts, and it starts to get to be a warm vape, and you get, wow, still got cloud floating. You get a lot of vape still, and it starts to get to be a warmer vape. Not hot, but it is warmer. But I like this 65 to 80 range, somewhere in there, and I'm happy with it. Is it a tank I would recommend? Well, I guess I could recommend it. I bought mine. I enjoy it. I keep it filled up. Usually sitting on the IPv5 just because, you know, the silver and the chrome. I like it. I like the way it looks. But like I said, being a truck driver, you got to watch. This does not sit flush. Can't see it real well, but the cat does wobble some, not a whole lot. But I have had a couple issues where I go to pick it up out of the cup holder and not paying attention to grab, and now it's all over the place. So I don't like that about it, but I just got to pay a little bit closer attention when I go to pick it up and use it. It does suck down some juice. She will go through some juice. But you got to remember, you're sub-ohming 0.2, 0.5 watt or whatever at 70 watt, 80 watt, 100 watt, 120 watt, it's going to suck the juice in and turn it into vapor. You're just going to go through it. There's not really any way around it. Other than that, that's about all I got on it. I'll put a link down below, cloudycollabs.com. That's where I do some of the business with them at. Like I said, I've always enjoyed Cloud Chasers Incorporated. I've ordered quite a few things from them. I know it's a bit of an older tank. It is still on the market. You can still pick it up. I'll put a link down below. I think it's like 60 to 70 bucks, somewhere in there. I've seen them in the stainless color, a murder black, a zombie like green with red splatter on it. They've got a couple other versions, and now with the murder mouse, it's a little bit bigger, and the exec and that. But I'll put a link down below, and that, so you can go and check it out if you're interested in it. Other than that, I use it. I'm not the happiest with it, but I do use it. I mean, I spent my money to buy it. May as well use it. You know, I've been looking for coils. I heard they did change the way the coils were done. I haven't seen a difference. Maybe I'm still getting some of the original coils, and I just haven't found somebody that has the new ones in yet. I don't know. But I still use it. I got coils for it, so put it into use. You know, it's a nice backup system. You know, it's not my normal big 10, 12, 20 millimeter or milliliter juice holding tank. It only holds, I think it holds like 3.5 milliliters or something like that, so it's not really anything major. But it works. I use it as a backup when one of my bigger ones goes empty, if I forget to fill them. You know, having a backup is always nice. Excuse me. Other than that, that's about all I got. Links down below. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe. I've got more videos coming up. And on that note, y'all stay safe. Keep the shiny side up, keep the greasy side down. And stay twisted. And have yourself a twisted Thanksgiving. See you soon.